So my name's Dr. Adam Sawyers, and today I'm going to train. I'm currently recovering from a bilateral quadriceps tendon rupture repair, and this is my training. So at the minute, the goal is to try and get to a 600 kilo total. Now, what I'm going to do to try and get there is, obviously I'm rehabbing the quads, but what it's going to look like is probably like 120 kilo squat, 180 kilo bench, and a 300 kilo deadlift. So today we're on to week 2, day 2. So the plan for today is some deficit stiff bar deadlifts. So that should be good fun. And if you watch the last few videos, you'll have seen I've been messing about with the lighting, trying to find a setup that works. This is a nice change. Being able to do bodyweight squats. It's only my ankle that's the problem. I have a fractured bone in my ankle, which is not healing, so that's fun. So last week, I think this says I did 120 for a top set of 5. So basically, the goal is beat that. And then I did a back off set at 110. So what we're going to do is 1 double over and then 1 hook. So that with 120 was, with 100 was nice and easy. So what I think I'm going to do is go on 40 and have this be my top set for the day. That'll be a nice 20 kilo improvement on last week. So I can't complain at that. And then we shall see afterwards. And something I saw today, I got an ad for an online coach's coach, and the ad said, if you're spending more than 5 minutes on each client's check-in, basically your business sucks. I just was like, in what world did he think that was a good ad? Now the reason I say that is, I love efficiency, so I love doing things quick and whatnot. But if you are doing a one-to-one service and you think that 5 minutes is too long for each client a week, then either you're a charlatan or you're just not actually a very good coach. You don't have much in the way of processes. So I think his point was about trying to make things more efficient. I'm all for that. But sometimes clients have got more than 5 minutes worth of training videos for me to go through. So how am I going to get through everything in that time? It's ridiculous. Now don't get me wrong, if this was for a cheaper product, like a group coaching product or something like that, yeah, I would understand that. That would make sense. But he was talking about one-to-one coaching. Typically speaking, for one-to-one coaching, most decent coaches are charging at least 200 quid a month. So like 200 quid a month and you can't spend 6 minutes on the check-in. Like, nah, that doesn't add up to me. You need to be able to spend more than that, to be honest. Some clients might not want that much feedback, and that's fine. But if your if your target is 5 minutes per check-in, and that's what you're working towards, I just don't think it's a good metric. The metric you should be working towards is what generates the best outcome for the athlete, for the client. So for me, for coaching, what I've found is I get almost like 2 opposite ends of the spectrum with people. I get some people who are like, Adam, I don't care about why we're doing this. Just tell me what to lift. And then the other end of the spectrum, I get the people that are like, why did we do 4 sets on this last block and now we're starting the block at 6 sets or 3 sets or whatever, who want to know the details? I like both for different reasons. But with the coaching, you essentially want to get people the result they're paying for and have them happy whilst you're doing it. That's it. It's real simple. What's the thing they paid you for? Are they getting that and are they happy? If they are, the specifics don't really matter as long as they're happy. Obviously, you try and improve things as much as you can, but like somebody's come to you to get lean and you put them straight away on a gaining phase, don't matter how nice you are, they're not getting what they paid for, are they? Anyway, my training. So, I'm going to go for 5 with this. My body, my back, my glutes, my hamstring, easy. Quads, feel it a little bit, not sore. My thumbs, feel like they're going to fall off. That was alright. So 1 set of 5, 140. Still don't know that there's an RPE for it, to be honest. But it is what it is. I need to rate it something, don't I? The lowest I can go is 5. To be honest, I think rating things below an RPE 5, no one's doing that accurately. Or like, I think it's really, really lazy programming to give people like RPE 3 or 4. Who can gauge the difference between 3 or 4? So who can gauge the difference between 7 reps in the tank or 6? If somebody is that self-aware, then they're probably a machine. Chances are, the people that are worrying about that are the people that just need to put more weight on the bar and just try a bit harder. I would caveat that with, if you're using something like velocity, then it can be easier to judge that. But even still, it's so far away from failure. You can't accurately know if you do 7 or 8 more reps, because like, say you're doing your set, like, I could have only done 7 more, gun to your head, could have done 8 more, gun to your family's head, could have done 9 more. Like, you could, if you got 9 more reps, you got more time to get psyched up, you got time to breathe, you got those kind of RPEs. I think are just silly and a waste of time, to be honest. With this, what we're going to do is go to 120 for 5. So a 20 kilo drop. Same as last week. I believe last week I used straps on this set. I believe for this week I will not be using straps for this set. So I'm doing these hook, not double overhand. I actually think it would be easier double overhand, to be honest. I think that was 5. I don't know. It didn't feel like I did any. On my hands it felt horrible. But on the body, nothing. I just watched it back. Apparently it was 5. But that's nice that I didn't feel super hard. Right, next up is some barbell rows. So last week did Mr. App. The app says that I did 8 with 60 for 2 sets. So this week we are going to go for 65 for 2 sets. I'm going to do at least 8 reps on them, potentially more. And what I also did was I had a bigger deficit because just this mat by itself is not quite deep enough for me to actually get much in the way of a stretch in the bottom position. And I like the feeling of like a flexion stretch right at the bottom, you know. Feels good on like the mid back especially. I got a real big pump there. So we've got the mat and a 20 kilo plate, only a thin one. Let's see how that goes. Actually, I might stick a second 20 kilo plate on as well, actually. So, bigger range of motion, more weight, same reps or more is the plan. I saw a comment earlier on some bodybuilder's video or whatnot. He was in the gym and he's out of breath talking, a bit like I am. And so many people are like, you're so unfit, you're out of breath. I'm like, he's probably between sets, probably breathing heavy because of being in between sets. And if you aren't like that between your sets, you probably need to train harder. Anyway, ranting over for about 2 minutes. Let's see how this is with the big range. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's right on the borderline between like real good pump and like uncomfortable. I suspect what I might have to do as the training block progresses, basically just as I get back into training, I'll just need to consider whether I do this on this session or if I do it on another one. Now I reckon I still could have done 3 or 4 reps. So 3 or 4, so that's 6.5. So if it was 7, that's 3 more, 6, 4 more. So 3 or 4, RP 6.5. So today, what I've been working on, first half this morning. So what a normal day is. No idea if you can see me right here. Normal day. Up. I have a slot for cardio. I don't always do cardio in it, but that's where it would be. So today I did do cardio. So on that cardio, replying to any clients' messages. When I've done that, replying to any inbound messages, any inbound leads, you would call it. So a lead is a potential customer. And then within leads, there's warm leads and cold leads. So a cold lead is somebody who's in your world. A warm lead is somebody who's in your world and has put their hand up to say, I'm interested in the thing you sell. Essentially, one way, shape or form. So I would deal with warm leads first. I don't tend to deal with cold leads anymore because there's enough throughput into my systems that I don't really need to do it. Anyway, finish that. I use TickTick for task management. So I go through that, check my jobs and stuff for the day, and then whatever the first tasks are, get on with them. So I'd set the tasks, and then I'll go and eat, and then start working. So the first, I think, 3-hour block today, I was just working on current client program updates and stuff. So today is Tuesday, so I'm prepping stuff for people that are coming towards the end of a block this week. So it'll be getting the skeleton, the outline of their next phase ready, if I've not already got it. For some of them, I need to dot the I's and cross the T's towards the end of this week as they finish the training, but depending on what phase people are in, a lot of it can be done ahead of time or mostly done. So then it's not like on a Sunday I'm like scrambling to get everything done. Then after, I think it was about 3 hours of that today, had some lunch, then back to work. What I was working on this afternoon is 14 Strong. So I have a free course, 14-strong.com. What I've been doing is, so I used to run it as cohorts, so like a group, open, close, depending on the time of year. I then moved it to be fully automated. So people could join at any time, go through it whenever they want. But what I found with that is, at the end now, there's too much choice. And doing the technique reviews on it is too sporadic. And basically I don't have enough time to fulfill that and my paying clients. I can't just be doing free technique reviews all the time, essentially. So I'm moving that back to being a cohort base, but there's still work that goes into that, so prepping that. So what it will mean is I'll run it, so it's 2 weeks long, but there'll be maybe 400 or 500 people will be doing it at once. Of that, say 400 or 500 people will sign up. Let's go with 500 for maths. 500 people sign up. On average, half of them will join the community for it, so that's 250. On average, half of them will actually participate, so we're at 125. On average, about a quarter of them will share their technique. So that's down to like 31.25, I think. So call it 31 people. So that'll be 31 people's worth of technique reviews in 1 2-week block. So if you look at that on a daily basis, that's 4 a day, 2 weeks. That's quite easy, quite sustainable to do. Off the back of that, so say off that 500 people, then maybe 10 people will sign up for some form of coaching, whether it's one-to-one, mid-priced, or very low-priced. So then I'll know and I'll have my time planned out for there's going to be an influx of new clients here. So I plan around that. So I plan it for like a deload week with training, stuff like that. Anyway, so this afternoon I've been sorting out a lot of the stuff for that. Like, oh, that was good, enjoyable. I think 3 more of them could have done. It was a bit harder than the last one, but I think I rested longer between that set and the first set than I did between the deadlifts and that. One thing I've noticed is, so my fitness has come back to like normal person that's active levels of fitness by doing the steady state. But to actually get fit again, I think I need to do some real cardio. So not just like 30 to 60 minutes at a low heart rate. I think I need to do some actual intervals. So I'm going to look at adding them in maybe next week, maybe the week after though. I'm not sure yet. Right, it's just dawned on me. The rest of this session, I'm actually going to do at the gym. So what I'm going to do is pull-ups, but I like the neutral grip attachments, so I'm going to do them. And I think Rachel's got my pull-up belt at the gym, so I need it for weighted. Then I'm going to do underhand pull-downs, so hands like this, because I'm finding it's actually improved a little bit, but my rotation at my elbow there is limited. Should be able to get it more like there. So rather than just stretching, I'm doing the pull downs. So you can see there, that's not great. But I'm doing the pull downs with the straps to force myself into that position gently and get some training in. Then I'm going to do some strict toes to bar, some hamstring curls, and then leg extensions, because I always do leg extensions. And that'll be it for today. So if you stick around, I'm only going to be rambling about my business stuff, or you can leave here and I'll see you probably not tomorrow, because tomorrow will be a rest day, probably the day after for training. So what I've been doing with the 14 strong stuff is I've taken so all of the web pages had a form that people could fill in, and they would automatically get emailed the results of the form so they can then progress through the course at their own rate. What I've had to do is go through every page and remove that. So what I did was I duplicated the entire thing so that if I do want to change it back again, I don't have to rebuild it all. So I duplicated it. I then had to get rid of that form from every single page. I then had to modify, I had to edit which videos were in some of them. So because the original version was in a group, the modified version wasn't. So then I had to put some old videos back, change some thumbnails. And then the email automations is the big one. So I quite like working on the automations and stuff. It's like a big puzzle, big spider's web. So that was enjoyable. But for each day, there's about 10 steps in an automation. There's 14 days. There's then a week of stuff beforehand. There's then 90 days of follow-up stuff afterwards. So there's a lot of automation stuff to go through. So it's not hard work. The bit I enjoy is mapping it all out. Then the actual doing of it, it's mostly just click, boring, click, click, click. I considered just outsourcing it. By the time I train someone what to do, I may as well just do it myself. So I've done about half of that. I've got the other half of that to do. I'll probably just try and do it tomorrow and get it over and done with. And then that was it for the most part. So I was alternating, like, I would do like half an hour walking, an hour and a half sat down, and alternating back and forth. Some stuff that's easy to do whilst walking on a treadmill, some stuff not so easy, just because of being able to see different screens and stuff. So yeah, that's the plan, and then we'll look at doing a launch of that maybe sometime end of March, possibly. I'm not 100% sure yet. But yeah, probably end of March we'll do a launch, and then June, September, something like that. Maybe every 3 months, 3-4 months. I don't know. We'll see.